Welcome to the first ever Grassland Middle School Franklin High School Orchestra concert in the inaugural year of Franklin High School Orchestra program. My name is Miss Rosevik, and I'm the orchestra director here at Franklin High School. We are so pleased that you're here. Grassland kids, future Franklin High School students, we are so glad you're here for the first concert to showcase the future and the present. And we're just going to get started. Without further ado, Miss Abel. Woohoo!
Thank you all so much. I wasn't sure who was on. Thank you all so much for being here. I am really excited about this 6th grade group. We have the largest group we've had so far at Grassland, I almost said Franklin. And this is the largest group we've had at Franklin so far as well. So, I'm just really impressed with these students. They have worked super hard So we've been working on learning to play not only in unison, but in independent parts, and kind of parts that they will be playing moving forward. So the basses and cellos are playing more of these fun bass lines and learning to love the lower end of their instrument. And the violins are getting to learn some really cool, beautiful melodies, and our second violins and violas are learning beautiful harmonies. So they have worked super hard to learn to play independently of each other. It becomes really tricky when all of a sudden the person next to you is playing something totally different. So they have really persevered and are rocking it. So we have one more piece for you all, First Christmas March, and it is a medley of several different holiday carols, and you'll get to hear kind of independently the violins and then the violas and cellos and basses. I think you'll really enjoy it. Our 7th grade orchestra at Grassland, and they are made up of mainly second-year students. And we have 3 really fun pieces for you. Our first piece is We Wish You Merry Christmas with kind of a Latin feel, so we hope you enjoy that. Before Christmas. And it is being narrated by our very own Miss Allie Taylor, who is our amazing art teacher at Grassland.
Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care. In hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash. Tore open the shutters and threw up a sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wonder eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted, "Yo, reindeer!" and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew. With the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow. and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
I think Miss Taylor needs another round of applause. She's awesome. And her sweater is my favorite outfit here. So, I'm glad that you all thought that was funny. I was kind of worried, but thank you for at least playing along. I like to laugh. If you don't know me very well yet, then you might not know that. But I like silliness and fun and giggling, except when we're supposed to be in rest position. But other than that, it's supposed to be laughing. Lots of laughs, right? Sixth graders? Yeah. Well, we have one more piece for you, and I was really excited about this piece. We're only playing 2 movements of it, so we will pause at the end of the second movement, and they will move their papers, their music, and then we will continue with the second movement. So if you will hold your applause until the very end. But this is a fun piece. I really enjoy this composer. I think he writes really fun music for this age group. And the first movement that we're gonna play is called Hot Chocolate. And he writes, Hot chocolate is inspired by the feeling of sitting by a warm fire after being in the snow for a while. In fact, the opening melody hints vaguely at the Christmas song, specifically chestnuts roasting on an open fire. And it's really fun. It's been great for them to work on because it's really slow and lyrical, and that definitely is a challenge for them. Something different than just playing fast. And they're having to really think about their bow changes and their string crossings, so that's been really fun for us to work on. And then the second movement we're playing is called Gingerbread Man. And this movement depicts a gingerbread man running around while being chased by different holiday carols. The carols appear in different styles and use various altered harmonies and melodies. So I've enjoyed describing that to them to make sure that we convey that to you all, the audience. So I think you'll enjoy both of these. They actually voted on the movements that they wanted to play of the 4. So they voted for Hot Chocolate and Gingerbread Man. So we are excited to play this for you. last few years, 3 years, I guess, to be specific, of students being really brave and really taking the risk in an audition. And as a second-year student auditioning, even with me just recording them for Williamson County Honor Orchestra, it's still a little bit intimidating because I'm standing there being like, don't talk, play. And also, you gotta play your best because someone's gonna listen to this and judge it and tell you if you're good enough to get in this group or not. And that never necessarily feels great, right, if you don't get in. Much like we as adults experience that often of jobs and different things. So I think this is a great learning process. So this year, we had, this is our second year to have the highest percentage in Williamson County 7th and 8th grade honor orchestra. For Grassland, we were the highest amount of students. I'm running out of words because it's late. So I would love, if you auditioned for Williamson County Honor Orchestra and you are in 7th or 8th grade, I would love for you to stand. Ensembles, which was really wonderful, and they worked really hard. So if you can see in your program who made the ensemble. If you made the ensemble, please remain standing. Way to go, guys. I do want to brag on a couple people, and they're going to hate this, but that's life. So we had 3 students who were principal chairs. Miss Lauren Chung on viola, Miss Ava Mackey on cello, and Mr. Dylan Cook on bass. So that was a huge deal for us, probably because I play the cello, and I'm sorry to my violins. Mrs. Brosvik's your gal for that. I'm not. So, and I'd also like, if you audition for mid-state, to stand up. This is even more of an audition. So, if you're not familiar with our mid-state for Middle Tennessee School Band and Orchestra Association, it is a very rigorous, intimidating audition process where students prepare an excerpt, they have to prepare 2-octave scales, and sight read. So that's really scary. They go into a room, it's like super serious, and like, don't talk, don't do anything, just like barely breathe and play your instrument. And we have worked on like the audition process a lot, and that's something I'm really passionate about because I think it is a huge life skill. And these students were so brave, and I'm really proud of them, and they worked really hard. And we had, if you'll remain standing, the 4 who made that ensemble this year. And the basses, if you'll raise your hands. So our 4 that made that ensemble this year were Lauren Chung, Ava Mackey, Dylan Cook, and Emily Aroso. So I want to brag for them because they're not going to tell you. So I'm going to tell you. Because they've worked so hard, especially these 8th graders. They've like persevered through some craziness over the past 2.5 years, and so I'm very thankful for that. So we are going to play. 8th grade has prepared 3 really great pieces for you. Our first one is, I don't know, it's probably my favorite. It is a really fun, amazingly well done arrangement of several traditional Hanukkah pieces. And so we've had a ton of fun working on this. There are tempo changes, there are lots of key changes and style changes, so it's been really wonderful for us to work on, and we are so excited to perform it for you. To just thank all the people that make this happen. And first, I want to thank you parents. Obviously, we wouldn't be here without you. Your support, your encouragement, the finances you put into this, obviously make this happen, and we couldn't do it without you. And we are so, so blessed to work with your children. They are so much fun. They keep me laughing all the time. And sometimes I roll my eyes, but I mainly laugh all the time at them. They are hysterical. They are also really kind. They are really kind humans, and it's really fun. So oftentimes they give me so much grace. I'm like, wow, I should practice that too. That was really nice. So they just keep me on my toes and help me to grow as a person as well. And I want to especially thank Mrs. Broswick and Franklin High School and Mrs. Dickerson for hosting us. And thank you to Mr. Campos way back there in the sound booth, who is doing a great job. I am just so excited about what is going on here at Franklin, and I'm excited for more students to be coming up and to be joining the orchestra here at Franklin and helping to grow our program. And we're just pumped that they have somewhere to go, because without the support of this building and the teachers here and the administration, that wouldn't happen. And of course, I want to thank all of our Grassland administrators and teachers. They are so supportive of all these students, and there's several here, and I'm very thankful that you're here. So we have one last piece, and it is our fun piece. I try and do a little mixture to everything. So I did realize, ninth grade parents, that I've done something from the Nutcracker this is my third year. However, I'm not sorry about it. It is one of my favorite pieces, and if you haven't heard the Nutcracker, you will get to through me. So I'm glad to educate you in music as well as your children. So our last piece is a fun arrangement of God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for coming, and I'm so excited to hear these wonderful high schoolers who I've missed, because they're the best. They're the OGs, right? I try to be cool, but they tell me I'm not, but we all know I'm the cool one, right? Mrs. Broswick and I are actually the coolest. No, they just have to, Jacob cut me off. Did you? Oh, sorry. I just want to say, Mrs. Broswick is awesome, and she's really cool too. One day she's going to teach me to play the violin really well, right? Will do. It'll be fun.
So, as Miss Abel and I worked on programming, I know that she is a very loquacious person. I don't actually like to talk at concerts, but I will right now because I want to brag on 4 4 students on stage, yes, who also made the high school mid-state orchestra. Mid-state is a very, obviously you know from Miss Abel, that's very prestigious. And we have an orchestra full of freshmen and sophomores and one amazing senior. But, thank you, Nate. But so these young ladies and gentlemen made the 910 Mid-State Orchestra. So if you auditioned or made the Mid-State Orchestra, please stand. And we also have some upperclassmen who that aren't on the stage, but they made the Mid-State 11th and 12th grade full orchestra. And that is, if any of you are friends with Sarah Zhu, David Zhu, and Sarah Lee from the band, wonderful players that will be representing Franklin in the 11th and 12th grade high school Mid-State Orchestra. So I wanted to give those shout outs. This next first song, I'm just going to say a couple of things about this next song because it's programmatic, meaning it's very thematic. You're going to hear, it's called To Tame the Raging Rapids. So you're going to hear things that sound like water, things that sound like rapids, things like that. So use your imagination. Thank you. for our last piece, we're playing a piece called Christmas Eve Sarajevo. And this piece was originally composed during the time of the, I'm blanking, the Czechoslovakian conflict in the mid-90s. And there was a lifelong cellist from Czechoslovakia's hometown of Sarajevo, and he was just so sad. He had spent most of his time abroad performing. I don't know his name. And he came back to Sarajevo, and he stood on top of a pile of rubble and played this beautiful tune that he grew up with, which we all know as Carol of the Bells. But so this is kind of in memory of that time and peace and moving forward. And as you know, I don't like to talk, so we're going to get started. But if you, I just want to say a few things. This is the first year of the Franklin High School Orchestra program, and if you like what you hear, and if you want to fully support us, please feel free to give generously at the end of the concert. We have a bucket. We're just a fledgling program and need money for travel to contests. So anything you can give in dollar here, that we would really appreciate it. Thank you very much.